Heroes of Overwatch is a comic book series made as a collaborative work between many lesser artists under the wing of Stan Lee as a test back in 2012. Because of a publication mistake where in one of them the setting Hollywood references World of Warcraft, a Blizzard-owned game, Blizzard sued the authors, and at the time, due to their smaller size and lesser fame, they could not afford the lawsuit, so they settled for Blizzard acquiring the copyrights to their works to use in a game they would later release in 2016 entitled Overwatch. That isn't true, but it would make much more sense than what actually happened. Here's context. Blizzard in 2016 were RPG spammers. Their biggest games were WoW and Diablo. They had just released Hearthstone, which took all of its characters and settings from WoW anyways. Never had they proof they could write characters that were meaningful in any way. Then they released this game, which not only introduced hundreds of new gameplay mechanics never seen before in an FPS game, but had a world that fans loved with, importantly, characters that they loved. The game was revolutionary. But like many nice things, it had to come to an end when role queue was introduced, and playing DPS meant spending more time in queue than in game. The community slowly died out, massive streamers and Overwatch League players left because they knew their worth, and it was time to call it quits. But then, 2022 Blizzard had a stroke of genius and created a sequel. This would go on to revive the entirety of the Overwatch community, making the game playable again and leaving everyone happy with the results. That's when they added a bunch of good characters in, like Cassidy, of course. There's Reinhardt, Ana, Whammon and Himston, Mercy, Genji and Hanzo, the Shimada brothers, yay! Doomfist, Mei, Junkrat, Widowmaker, Lucio. All of the best characters were added into Overwatch 2, and that is why the game was revived. Of course, Game of the Year was very narrowly stolen from it by Elden Ring this time around. I drained my life away playing the original Overwatch. And it hurt watching it transform from what was once a cacophony of crazy plays using abilities nobody was familiar with to a super strict game where any error goes penalized. On top of that, everyone has inflated health now, and some characters are straight up locked unless you pay actual money to get them, because it's also become a cash grab. But honestly, even if you go through the troubles of unlocking them, all new characters are just duplicates of past ones with very slight changes to their movesets. But enough about the positives, let's talk about what they added into the game instead of what they took away. Role queue is only a minute long now for DPS, so I guess if for some reason you did want to play this game, you actually could now. There's a ton of new maps, which I'll admit is nice to see. Again, the style and setting of these games is just too sturdy to fall off on, so this is something I'm expecting them to continue doing well for a long time. However, they introduced a new game mode, which I politically disagree with. See, the idea is you rush to a point and capture it like King of the Hill, but in this case, once the point is captured, you just go on to another random one on the same map. It's nice because there's no intermission between points, but bad because you'll get 3-hour-long runbacks and less overall map count in general. But I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here. I believe this is more than just a new map type. I think this is a hint that the next Overwatch game will be an open world one, where you get to play as the heroes and explore the different maps from the game. You'll be able to level up your character and even interact with thousands of players online. There'll be stores, which all burn real life money, and trading, which burns your trust for humanity. And get this, they're gonna add a new character, which will have a rocket-fired gauntlet that you can ride on. I didn't think they would manage to mess up such an amazing product this badly, but throughout the years, that's all they did. But hey, maybe Microsoft will nurse Blizzard back to life in the end.